If you have ever said, "Why do I keep doing this?" Here is the scary part. Around 90% of your daily choices are driven by patterns, not logic. So you are not always choosing your life. A few hidden psychological loops are choosing it for you. And no, this is not some motivational speech. These are 7 patterns real people fall into every day, without realizing it. You will recognize yourself in at least one, maybe more. And once you see them, they get harder to unsee. Pattern 1. Familiar pain feels safer than unknown happiness. You know that thing you keep returning to even though it hurts you. The same kind of friend who drains you. The same kind of relationship that turns into the same argument. The same habit that ruins your mood. Most people think this is weakness. It is not. It is your brain choosing predictability over possibility. Your nervous system cares less about your happiness and more about your certainty. So if your brain already knows how a situation ends, even if the ending is ugly, it labels it as safe. New outcomes feel risky, even when they are better. And once that loop is running, you start living on repeat, which leads to the next pattern. Pattern 2. Your brain edits reality to protect your identity. This one is wild. Your brain will literally filter what you see, remember, and interpret, so you can keep believing you are the same person. That is why 2 people can experience the same moment and tell completely different stories afterward. It is not always lying. It is self-protection. If a fact threatens your identity, your brain does not just accept it calmly. It argues. It excuses. It reframes. It makes the other person the villain. It makes you the victim. It does whatever it needs to do to keep your self-image intact. So sometimes you do not change, not because you cannot, but because changing would require admitting something uncomfortable. And that discomfort triggers the next pattern. Pattern 3. Avoidance gives instant relief, so your brain gets addicted. Avoidance is sneaky because it works. In the short term, you avoid a difficult message, you feel relief. You delay the task, you feel relief. You cancel the conversation, you feel relief. And your brain learns a dangerous lesson. Avoiding pain equals safety. So it rewards you, not with long-term happiness, but with immediate calm. And now your brain starts chasing relief like it is the goal. That is why people procrastinate for years. Not because they are lazy, because their brain is trained to escape discomfort. And once you keep escaping discomfort, you start needing another thing to feel in control. Pattern 4. Your mind turns uncertainty into worst-case stories. You get one cold reply, one weird look, one slight change in tone, and suddenly your brain is writing a whole movie. They are mad at me. They hate me. I messed up. Something bad is coming. This is not you being dramatic. This is your brain trying to predict danger. When your mind cannot find clear information, it fills the gap with fear. Because fear is a survival tool. Your brain would rather panic early than be surprised later. But here is the cost. You start reacting to stories instead of reality. And you start living in a future that has not happened. That constant tension usually pushes people into the next loop. Pattern 5. Your emotions become your evidence. This one destroys relationships and self-confidence. You feel anxious, so you assume something is wrong. You feel insecure, so you assume you are not enough. You feel guilty, so you assume you did something bad. But feelings are not proof. They are signals. And sometimes they are false alarms. Your brain uses emotions like shortcuts. It turns a feeling into a fact, because it is faster than thinking. So instead of saying, "I feel rejected," you say, "They rejected me." Instead of, "I feel unsafe," you say, "This is dangerous." And you act accordingly. And when you keep acting on feelings as facts, you start building habits without realizing it. Pattern 6. Repetition turns into identity. At first, it is just something you do. Then it becomes something you are. You procrastinate a few times. Now you think you are a procrastinator. You avoid conflict. Now you think you are bad at confrontation. You fail once. Now you think you are not capable. Your brain loves labels. Because labels save energy. Once it gives you a label, it starts filtering your decisions to match it. And here is the trap. You do not behave based on who you are. You behave based on who you believe you are. So the loop runs deeper. Because now you are not just repeating a habit. You are defending an identity. And that creates the most dangerous pattern of all. Pattern 7. You outsource your life to other people's approval. This is the quietest form of control. You do not even notice it at first. You start dressing for approval, posting for approval, working for approval, choosing careers, partners, lifestyles, all for approval. Even when nobody is directly pressuring you, because your brain is wired for belonging. Rejection used to mean danger, so your nervous system treats social approval like survival. That is why a simple like, a message, a compliment can change your mood instantly. And why criticism can crush your day. When you live like this, you are not making decisions. You are negotiating your place in the tribe. So here is the real question. Which one of these patterns is running your life right now? Comment the number that hit you hardest. And if you want more content like this, subscribe to What Humans Hide.